We've talked about Social Security disability in the past Know Your Rights segments, but today Catherine Stone from Barbas Law is back, and we're going to go more in depth when it comes to those good old forms.
Yes, you know, I love to talk about forms because even though I try to be a paperless office, we still have a lot of paper because there's still a lot of forms that have to be filled out. And Social Security is definitely one of those areas where forms are key. And it's not just the applications or the appeals or the requests for reconsiderations, but what will happen is the clients will get these forms, and some of the forms are called like a supplemental pain questionnaire or a more in-depth work history questionnaire. These are standard forms that Social Security will send out. And these forms are so specific. So for instance, like your work history form, they want to know in an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day, however long your day was, they want to know down to the minute how long you sat, how long you stood, how often you took breaks. And a lot of people don't understand that filling that out and being very accurate with that can affect your entitlement to benefits. So those forms have to be taken very, very seriously. I recently came across a situation where the client filled out the pain questionnaire as if she was having the best day of her life. And yes, we know that, you know, pain can come and go, but instead of giving Social Security somewhat of a true and accurate depiction of the struggles that she goes through on a daily basis, she presented herself as this person that had no problems. And so those are the types of things that you have to stop and think that you're not having a one-on-one with the person who's making your decision. You know, when you go down to the Social Security office and you file that initial application, that's not the person that's going to be ruling on whether or not you get disability. It makes its way through a hierarchy of individuals, and those individuals don't sit down and meet with you. So all they have to go on are the forms.
And she probably didn't know what she was doing.
Of course not. She had no idea. And then the other thing about the forms are sometimes they will ask for additional updated information, like, okay, we see where you said you may have this condition. Have you been back to the doctor for this? If so, what doctor and when did you see them and what did they recommend? People will get those and they either don't see them or they don't pay attention to them. Social Security only gives you about 10 to 15 days to respond with all the forms and calling them with any questions. And so sometimes even when you try to call them, you may have to leave a message. If you haven't heard back, call them again.
Got to.
Because again, the forms are so crucial, because until you get to the point of seeing an administrative law judge, which is like the third step in the appeal process, you're not meeting with someone live. So they can't see how sick you are, or they can't see your disability. So you have to be able to translate that to paper.
And it's such a good reminder of these things, because you get these papers and I'm sure they can be overwhelming sometimes.
And so, you know, it's important that, you know, what we do is we say you fill out the paperwork as best you can, and then we sit down and we review it and we go over and do you understand what this question is asking? Or you really didn't give a complete description of your full day. You only gave me half the day. You've got to give me a full day. And, you know, sometimes that can take a while, because who really tries to sit down and pinpoint how much they sit per day or how much they stand per day? But it's in their best interest to not take any forms from Social Security very lightly. If you get a phone call from Social Security, don't blow it off. Call them right back.
I'll say all good things to keep in mind. And again, you're talking about how important it is because you're looking out for the client.
Correct, because once you've filled out this, so what happens is let's say you got denied the first time, and then you've done the request for reconsideration yourself, and let's say you get denied the second time, and then you decide, you know what, I need some help with a lawyer. Well, you've probably already filled out a ton of forms.
Yeah.
And by the time we get to the ALJ stage, a lot of judges will go back and look at those original forms.
Get somebody right away.
It's very important that you pay attention to those forms.
Thank you so much again, talking about the importance. If you have any questions or have any forms that you need help in the Social Security world, well, Catherine, she's your gal. There's the phone number. There's the website. Thank you for coming in.